know that you boys are starting to obviously make the beats and stuff on your phones. Like I told you last time, I want you to know exactly what you're looking at, not be functioning illiterate, just be happy just to plug and play. I want you to know exactly what you're looking at. I want to open up this here, which is Cubase. Now, this software it has similarities of Fruity Loops. The difference is there are certain recording programs, meaning obviously specifically for live recordings, and then you have what we call plug-in programs, which is like Fruity Loops that have all the kick beats, that have all the synthesizers, that have all the instruments preloaded. Something like this is where you can do live recording. Now, obviously, when I say live recording, we think of singing or rapping or something like that. But you can also record multi-tracking with bands if you wanted to. So, back in, I'm just going to give a range, let's say 1940s. The 1940s, 1930s, when audio was really starting to be recorded in studios. It was just one track, one take, and you really had to be a real musician. It was just one track, one take. Now we have the ability to have multi-tracking for each instruments, so we can go back and make changes on everybody simultaneously at one time. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we live in a luxury generation. Back then, if you wasn't good, you wasn't getting it good. Now we can go back and tweak what you did, or if you messed up on the part, we can go and scrub it out. Back then, it was just recorded one time.
You got to be in the mind.
Yeah, it was that whole song was recorded one time, the first time. So that's why it's so much easier for us. There's 1,000 gazillion ones out there, like I said, of recording programs. I particularly like to use Cubase. One of the major ones on the market that you will always hear of is Pro Tools. It's one of the major ones because they made it that way. But secondly, it's great on cross-platforms, meaning most of us use Microsoft computers. I hate using PC because PC just stands for personal computer. It doesn't necessarily mean Microsoft. PC means Apple and Microsoft. So I'll just say Microsoft computers. It's generally what everybody uses. But in most recording studios or video production or distributing centers and stuff like that, they use Apple computers. Okay? And usually probably when you go to college, they're probably going to make you buy an iMac, or not an iMac, but an AirMac or something like that. Let me do this here. I am going to add a couple of tracks. Now, under Add Track, you can see we have Add Audio, Add Instrument, Add MIDI, and then also down we're grouping the channels. But the main three we're just going to worry about is right there. Audio is basically pure form of all sound waves. Right now, the way that I'm talking and the way that you're receiving it is by analog. Analog is a pure form of wave. I clap my hands, you get a high sound. If I stomp my feet, you hear a low sound. Okay? And then in between, we have our MIDI. So in the car, you ever notice with your equalizer that's in there, you have a high range, a mid range, and a low range. All those frequency ranges control what that sound sounds like, and that whole entire song compressed together has each individual tonality in it. So when you hear, hey, I need to mix down my song, you're mixing down, making sure that the singer that sounds like Mariah Carey doesn't bleed over with the drummer playing a hi-hat, because they're both high frequencies, you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if you do, you'll get bleeding and screeching in your ear, which can be bad. So I'm going to drop a track in here just real quick so you guys get it and understand. Let me drop one audio on. Now, the key thing is between what we do now and the way that I'm talking is, if we were recording everything that I just said I'm talking in, and no, seriously. It sounds funny, but shoot, where I'm talking in terms of technology, I'm talking in an analog version because it's pure. I'm not digital. I'm not a robot.
Right.
But as we talk and it converts to the computer, it turns analog into digital audio is what it changes to. Now, the way that works, and there's a lot into that, let me just open this track up so you guys can see the analog first. I'm just going to pick a new instrument here. how the track sounds normally. Right? Now, here's a tricky thing. Well, it ain't necessarily tricky. This is what you see all the time in the car or any other place on any amplifier, but you never really paid attention to notice. We have on this, there's a lot of range of the frequencies, but let's just say hypothetically, actually let me open this grid up here. Where's my football field? Here we go. There's my EQ football field, kind of what we call it just a little bit, all right? And in this EQ system, we have a whole range, and we have our, this is our high, mid, and low frequencies, okay? Now, there's a wide range of them, but they just categorize them and group them. It's starting from 20 kilohertz to 20 hertz, okay? Do you guys know what kilohertz is in the thousands in the placement region?
Not as bigger.
Correct. That's starting in your 10,000s range, okay? And then hertz is going under, okay? Or thousand, let me rephrase that, thousandth range is what your kilohertz is, and then under you have your hertz. All right, so at 20,000 kilohertz is the general speed of human hearing. All right, dogs are a little bit more higher than that, but that's the general high frequency range that we can hear if something is far away or right up on us. Kind of like you ever know you do a hearing test, okay? And we can do that a little bit later, but it's a frequency level where it's just a straight line of that frequency that you hear. So like when the TV goes off, well, not necessarily off, but you think you turned it off, but you still hear it. That's a frequency line still going. That ranges could be anywhere, all right? So let me play this here. Now if you see here where the mouse is, that actually says 20K right there. Okay? So I want to talk about 20K, if that's a high or the low. 20K, good. Okay, so you hear how the high changes? Okay, now I'm going to take it out. At 20K, I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to come down some. So right now, I basically manipulated the range from really the thousands place, from 1,000 kilohertz all the way up to 20 kilohertz. I've raised you can see the graph chart by raising the level all the way up. Turn it down. So by raising the graph chart all the way up. Now, I'm going to bring it down, and you'll be able to hear a flat line.
Okay,
Now you can hear the difference now. It was kind of hard to tell from the range going higher.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, it's like a little bit of a underbeat.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a way to do that. I'm going to teach you. It's called reading and writing the song, and making do what you want to do in that way, and it'll automate. Alright. So that's that there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to the mid range. Alright. And I'm going to turn our mid range up. And I'm going to turn our mid range down. So you can see how you can still hear your low end frequency with the kick. You can faintly hear the highs because your highs are still kind of going out too. Because look at our graph chart. It's still kind of taking it down within the 20 kilohertz range. Alright. Now I'm going to come down even further. That's taking our low end all the way out. Increasing our low end. But you see what happens if it's bleeding too much. You see what I mean? It sounds nice. I mean, it doesn't necessarily sound nice, but sometimes if you got your speakers at a certain level that's not even level with everybody else's in the car, which is also goes down with mixing down, you have to make sure you have an even blend for everybody. And what happens is the dumb producers who don't know no better, they just turn everything up and bump it, thinking it's going to sound right, and you give it to a producer or somebody else, they put it in their system to listen to, and you blow their system because you don't know what you're doing. You may sound good on yours, but you didn't mix it down for everybody else's to hear at one time. All right, so you got to be very cautious of that. All right, so let's get that back at I'm going to take all these off. We get it back even. All right. So again, we're dealing with high, mid, and low frequencies. All right. For our low end, it starts at, no, let me start from the high. High end starts at 20.
Kilohertz.
20.
Good. And then
20 hertz.
20 hertz. Kilohertz is what place?
High.
The 1,000.
The
Thousandths place. All right, so you're starting at 1 kilohertz up, which means 1,000. All right, and then hertz is 0 hertz all the way up to 900 hertz, or a little bit 999 hertz. All right, until you start over there. All right, which is our mid to low end range there. All right, so that's how that works. Now. All right, so let's get into sampling. All right. Now, I know you guys thinking of sampling and that's making the track stuff like that. We will get to that here. It's pretty simple. Not today, but we'll get to that pretty soon. Sampling that I want you guys to understand is what I was talking about, converting a analog signal to a digital signal. Okay. Now, again, right now, me talking in technology is an analog way. We want to convert that to this digital. So let's say if I actually recorded my voice. Let's say that that sound wave right there is my voice. Obviously, it's the song. The thing is I'm going to use my zoom in measure here. We're going to zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. And we're going to zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to stretch that out even more. All right? Now, me talking right now look like that. Okay? Those are just regular audio waves that you see on commercials or anything else for that matter, all right? But each one of these dots represents a sample. So if you ever notice sometimes where you see, I don't know, maybe like on YouTube or anywhere where you download music, you may see a sampling rate, is what it's called. And you may see 96K. Now again, this is 96 times per second. But if we have 96 kilohertz, that's not, or 96,000 kilohertz per second, a sound wave is actually moving. Okay? And that's each one of these dots represented. Okay? These are your sampling rates that's in the song. I don't know how many is in this song. Hypothetically, I would have to read the specs on it. But each one of these dots represent a specific sampling rate. Okay? And each song has a specific definition of dots within that song that represents a digital sampling rate. And as I'm speaking, these dots correlate the frequency of my voice of an analog signal and converts it to a digital signal. Groups them together, and it's going to take that many dots to reproduce what you're saying. Now, each dot represents a quality, okay? And that is called bit depth. So like if you get a CD and you see 16 or 24 bit depth or something like that, again, that is representing the quality of each dot. So you ever found a song on YouTube and you thought that it was the original song and then you play it out loud and it sounds muffled, like what we just did with the frequency? That means that the sampling rate has no quality to those sample rates. You can hear the song fine, it's playing normal, you know, because all the sampling rate dots are there, but the sampling rate dots are recorded crappy. They're just not quality. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's say if we take, he said the buses was about 23. Okay. All right. So let's say we come here and I click save or export for now. I want to export the audio. I'm just going to do from here to here. All right. Export that out. It's down. Now in our property options, we have our, what I just taught you, we have our sampling rate and we have our bit depth. All right. Our sampling rate says 96,000 kilohertz. Obviously, we know now that's in our thousand place, and that's 96,000 kilohertz, which is per second. All right. And then the bit depth of each one of those sampling dots is 24. That's decent audio listening.